Let's now implement this predicate, which will check out if a list contains a certain element. So basically, I want to check if this element X is contained by this list L. How to implement this basically search? I'm going to implement linear search. So I'm going to check out if the first element of the list is the same of X, and if it is not, then I check the second element and the third element and so on. This is something we can do in Prolog, because in Prolog we can check what is the head of the list. Head means the first element of the list, and we can split the head from the tail of the list, which means the rest of the list. This splitting can be done by this vertical bar operator. So basically, I check if this element, this value X, is the same of the head of the list or it is not. So there are two cases, basically. The first case is when the head is the same as the value I'm looking for. So in this case, the search was successful. I found the value in the list. I can stop, right? So this is basically a fact I can fix. Yeah, I get a warning here. The Prolog interpreter warns me that this variable t is used only once. You know what it means. I can change it to an anonymous variable represented by the underscore. Okay, so this is the base case, basically. This is when my search will stop successfully. What to do if I cannot find the value X in the head of the list? So basically the head of the list is something else, it's not X. Then, of course, I have to keep searching for X in the tail of the list. So I have to implement an iteration. You know what it means. I have to implement a recursive rule. So basically, I'm calling the same predicate again with X, since I'm looking for X again, and where I'm looking for it in the rest of the list, in the tail of the list, basically. Okay, so it seems we are done. Okay, I'm getting a warning here again. Y is used only once, so I'm replacing it with underscore. And okay, so let's just try to run this query here. I'm searching for the value 3 in this list, and I enable the debugging mode now just to check out what is going on. Okay, so first we start to shorten the list, you see. So we check the head of the list, it's 1, it's not the same as the value of interest. So I'm checking out the tail of the list, starting with 2 and so on, until I get to this point. Now you can find the same value in the head of the list, right? So this is where basically the base case is executed, as you can see, and this is where I know that the search was successful. So the Prolog interpreter returns true. I'm done. Am I? No, because the Prolog interpreters keep going. It does backtracking. So if there is another trace, then it will follow it. So this is what is going on. The Prolog interpreter keeps running the recursive rule, so it shortens the list even more until the list gets empty. And at this point, this atom cannot be matched with either the fact or either the rule. So this means at this point, the Prolog interpreter returns false. Okay, so this is kind of interesting, but it's logical. This is how the Prolog interpreter works because of backtracking. So what we should do, basically, we should stop when we successfully find the value we are looking for. How to make the prog interpreter stop? How to cut backtracking? Well, there is a way. You can use a special operator, the exclamation mark, which is called the cut operator. We cut the backtracking. We don't let the backtracking go back and find another trace. Whenever this atom is matched, we cut backtracking, so we are done. We are not interested in any further results. If now I run the query, you can see that the first round returns true, and the prog interpreter stops at this point, and this is what we wanted to achieve by using the cut operator.